everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs.
And I'm David Woldingen.
And the Missouri Tigers have advanced to the round of 32 against Cinderella herself, the Princeton Tigers. Before we begin talking about that, need y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Well, here we are, David. Missouri defeats Utah State by 11, and they got it's Princeton. It's not Arizona. We anticipated that if Mizzou advanced, it would be the 2-seed Arizona, but it's Princeton. And David, to get there, Missouri had to work, especially in the first 30 minutes against Utah State.
Yeah, and then Kobe Brown just said, "I'm taking over," and he did.
Yeah, if you missed it, he had a filthy kind of turnaround jam and then hit 3 threes in a row. He had 12 points straight. Demoy Hodge had the next, 6 or 8. The two of them put together had 20 straight points for Missouri. They pulled away. And Missouri will play on Saturday in the round of 32. First tournament win since 2010, 13 years ago. Now, as we said, it's not Arizona Missouri plays, but Cinderella. The Princeton Tigers from the Ivy League, they beat Arizona. They are the 15 seed in the region, beating the 2, the 11th time that's happened ever. So, yeah, among the biggest upsets in tournament history. And it was impressive to watch, really. They held Arizona, who scores well north of 80 points a game, to 6 points in the final 11 minutes of that ball game to win 59-55. And David, Arizona just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it was really an impressive feat, actually. Princeton's a lot more physical than I ever remember watching them play. They used to run what they called the Princeton offense. Not so much anymore. They're definitely going to be a challenge to go up against.
Yeah, back in the day when you think Princeton, the Princeton offense, as you said, just backdoor cuts left and right. And yeah, for lack of a better term, Ivy League white boy offense. That may not be the most politically correct thing to say, but honestly, that's what they've run traditionally, but not so much anymore. And they can hang. You think undersized for Princeton. Well, Arizona had 2 guys 6'11" or taller who are both very good players. And while they got theirs, they didn't dominate. So, you look at this Princeton team, David, and before beating Arizona, it's an Ivy League schedule. One common opponent with Missouri, the University of Pennsylvania. Mizzou beat them by 7, second game of the year. Princeton beat them 3 times. And after that, it's an Ivy League schedule. Best wins, Yale?
Yeah, they finished out the season 22-8. A few stats offensively, they ranked 74th in the NCAA. Shooting 34.4% from 3, which is 164th. So mediocre. As average as it can be offensively.
Yeah. Now, rebounding.
So,
they are not mediocre at rebounding. They're a very good rebounding team. So,
yes.
For Missouri, a third of the chances are offensive rebounds for the opposition. That's something they've really got to emphasize. They clearly emphasized 3-point defense against Utah State and held the 4th best team in the NCAA in 3-point shooting to 4 out of 24 on Thursday. They've got to have a similar type effort in terms of rebounding the basketball.
Yeah, and the good news is on this one, as you mentioned, how well they did against defending the 3. While Missouri shoots a lot of 3s, they can go inside too, especially with Kobe Brown. They showed that against Tennessee a couple games ago. I would say even against Utah State, they showed that a little bit. They had a lot more driving to the net and even some mid-range shots instead of just jacking up threes whenever. And then once things started opening up, that's when they started shooting from outside. So I'm thinking Mizzou will have a decent chance to rack up the points underneath again. But honestly, we got to have more out of Diarra, especially with how good they are rebounding. We're going to need his physicality underneath.
Yeah, the last small handful of games, Mohamed Diarra has been honestly a liability. He played some in the first half, did not play very much in the second half. Noah Carter back in the starting lineup in his place. That worked out very well for Missouri. Carter had at least 10 points. I'm not sure what his final line was, but at least 10 points. And it was a fairly efficient 10 points too. When you look at Princeton, two guys stand out to me. The first is Tosan Awoma. He's a senior. He's from England, 6'8", 217. A little bit like Dan Aiken from Utah State in the sense of similar type of body structure and athleticism. And for Princeton, if you're talking three-point defense for Missouri, the guy to look out for is Matalako. He is the three-point shooter. He shoots just a little bit better than 40% from deep on the year. After him, the shooting percentage for the team drops off. And no player who's a major contributor shoots better than about 33%, about a third of their threes. So if they can contain Matalako, there's at least hope that the three-point shot may not be lethal. Now, Susan Missouri thinks that, they get lit up for 12 threes or whatever, but
and my comment on that is that's where the rebounding is going to come in. They miss a shot, they can get those tip-ins real easily off those rebounds if Missouri doesn't do a good job boxing out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And here's a weird nugget about Princeton. We talked about Awoma, who's kind of their post presence at 6'8". He's not their leading rebounder. He's averaging 7 rebounds a game. They're solid. But the leading rebounder is a freshman, Caden Pierce, 6'6", 205. He's leading the team in rebounding, which leads me to think it's more of a matchup thing than anything else. Otherwise, I'm not really sure. Now, let's talk keys to the game here. For me, the key to this game is simple. Princeton, as we said, their best win is Yale. They haven't played anything close to Power 5, Power 6, whatever you want to say. They haven't played anybody close. Remove all doubt early. Establish yourself and just remind them you are an Ivy League team. You cannot hang. If they do that early, I think Missouri has a chance to be just running the clock out with 10 minutes to go. I really feel that way. Do I expect that to happen? I don't know. Princeton just beat Arizona. I mean, they're clearly game, but Missouri's also capable of doing that to Princeton, I think. So that's my key.
Yeah, so my key is I want to see more underneath out of the other guys besides Kobe. So whoever that might be, Diarra, Noah Carter, even Aiden Shaw, who got some minutes against Utah State. If they can show me some physicality underneath and some offensive prowess underneath, I think they're going to be able to take control of this game fairly early, as you said. The other thing I would point out is Princeton slowed Arizona down. If Mizzou can play their pace in the way they want to, I think they'll run away with it. Granted, this is March Madness. Anything is happening, as you can see by all the upsets. Yeah. But because I was so good with my pick against Utah State, I was only 1 point off, y'all. I'm going to go around the same route. I'm going to say Mizzou, this time by 12.
By 12?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's going to be a very similar game. to what Mizzou played for Utah against Utah State. I think they're going to come out and try to establish themselves as just athletically superior. But I think Princeton's going to hang. I don't think they'll be deterred. I think Missouri's going to keep them at arm's length, and then down the stretch, pull away a little bit. And I've got Mizzou by about 10. It won't be dominant, but it'll be one that gradually gets comfortable towards the end, just like Thursday's game against Utah State.
I do want to say it's worth noting that the style of play Mizzou plays is not played by many teams. And because of that, it's really hard to prepare for them, and they're going off of 1 day's rest. So I think this is going to be a huge advantage to Missouri in that regard.
Not to mention the fact that Arizona plays the same type of up and down game. And there were stretches where that game was like that. So
it's definitely going to be a real interesting matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Mizzou has a real shot at possibly getting to the Sweet 16. But they need to take care of business. And hopefully you guys get to see us do another pregame for next week. But until then, stay tuned for all Mizzou sports news as well as Battlehawks, Blues, and Cardinals. Thank you for watching Under the Arch Sports.